Hello world, Vlad here. I want you to realize that you are in default mode. According to Dan Gilbert of Harvard, who wrote Stumbling on Happiness, 46.9% of the time, that's half of the day, you are on autopilot mode. You got two modes in the way in which your brain operates, the default mode and the direct mode. The default I call autopilot. That's like when your thoughts drift. It's when you're on autopilot. It's when you go through the day without even thinking. The direct mode is the mode where you're present, where you're in the moment, where you're controlling what you think about. You have a choice. You're going to repeat what you're doing, or you're going to evolve it. There are two modes in your brain. There is autopilot and the things that you default to, and there is your ability to deliberately choose what you are going to think about. And when you start to realize and embrace the fact that being a deliberate thinker is a skill, and it's one that I want you to master, and it's one that I want you to practice. Doing a mindset reset, it's not an event, it's a process. Because the negative and limiting beliefs that you have that are already set to your default, those are encoded in the default network in your brain. And so it's going to be a process that you need to repeat. You know, you want to make changes. You've got a lot to do in your life, but then you start thinking about those changes and you immediately start catastrophizing. You start worrying, you start thinking about the reasons why it's not going to happen to you. That's so common, and the reason why it's common is because somebody in your past either trained you to think this way, or you've had so many bad things happen that you've trained yourself to assume and predict that bad things are always going to happen to you. There will be bad things that happen. There will. It's a fact of life. But if you are constantly allowing yourself mind to default to think that bad things will happen, or thinking that you're out of shape, or thinking that you are a loser, or thinking that you're not worthy, or thinking that things are not going to turn out, it becomes your default way of thinking. Scientists call it the default mode network. And it's super important for you to realize that you should go from somebody who defaults to think negative garbage to become somebody who thinks directly. It is going to be a process, not an event. This is the work of changing the patterns in your mind. There is no other way to do it, and you can do it, because if you can change how you think, you will, in fact, change your life. That's it for today. See you tomorrow. Be at peace.